What's up, YouTube? I hope each and every one of you guys are healthy and enjoying life today. In today's video, I'm going to be reviewing the 2024 Hyundai Elantra SEL. Huge thank you to Bethard over at Safford Hyundai of Leesburg, Virginia for allowing me to do this video for you guys today. If you are interested in this particular Elantra or any Hyundai product, I'll be sure to have Ben's information on screen as well as in the description box down below. But with that said, let's get into the video. Just like usual, first, I'm going to talk about the exterior and the performance. So like I said, this is a 2024 Hyundai Elantra SEL, and this particular one has been painted in Amazon Gray. I wanted to preface this video by saying for 2024, the Elantra received an exterior refresh as well as new interior and exterior color options. You also get more interior technology, and rear side airbags are now standard. Also, as standard with the SEL, you get dual LED projector headlights with high beam assist, as well as LED daytime running lights and LED turn signals. Now, taking a step to the left, let's take in the redesign of the Elantra for the 2024 model year. In my opinion, I think Hyundai did a great job sharpening up the front and the rear end to make it look just a little bit more sporty. You can let me know your opinions in the comments section down below. But at the center of your front bumper is where you will find your silver Hyundai logo. And then coming back just a little bit, you can see you get that satin chrome trim piece that essentially connects your LED daytime running lights together. I think it would be pretty cool to see on the top dog trim level of the Elantra to make this like an LED light strip. I think that would look pretty cool. But anyways, this one does not have an LED strip. But on the tops and the bottom of that satin chrome trim piece, you get some gloss black trim. And then coming down just a little bit more, you get a satin black front grille, and then you also get a satin black lower grille as well. You also get satin black outer grills, but the difference here with the outer grills is that you basically get a gloss black boomerang trim piece and some venting. I'm not sure if the GoPro is going to pick up the lighting that goes. Basically, that's to redirect air around the vehicle, just to in turn make it more aerodynamic. But coming on down the side, this particular one has been optioned with the $1,750 convenience package, which gives you these 17-inch gray with machine face wheels. Here's a look at the wheels. So basically, these come standard with 16-inch wheels. I think the 17-inch wheels just make the vehicle look a little bit more premium, and I like the wheel design on these. And then also, these wheels are wrapped in two 25/45 Kumho Majesty Solus all-season tires. I'm going to try to give you a view of the tread pattern on these tires as best that I can. There you go. And now here's a front 3/4 shot of what this thing looks like. But coming on down the side, you get body color mirror caps, and as standard, these side view mirrors are power adjustable, manual folding, and you will find your blind spot monitoring on the outside of your side view mirror on both sides. So about right there, you can see that little triangle. That is your blind spot monitoring system. But again, like mentioned, this vehicle has been optioned with the convenience package. So with the convenience package, you get the heated exterior mirror. So that alone makes the convenience package worth it, in my opinion. But also you get a bunch of other things like that power sunroof there at the top. But I do want to show you a little side profile shot of what this thing looks like. There you go. But like I just said, with the convenience package, you get this power sunroof that does slide and tilt. And then at the top of your windows, you get some satin black window trim. And then at the bottom, you get that satin chrome window trim. Then you get body color door handles with keyless access. Just keep in mind, the keyless access function is only on your front two door handles. The rear two door handles do not get that keyless access function. And then coming down the side, you can see kind of like that Y-shaped body line, so it goes down and then splits into two. Again, this car is very angular and it just looks very sporty. But coming around back, you do get a fuel door. To open up the fuel door, you have to go into the interior, and then you got to pull up on this little lever right here, and that is going to pop open the fuel door. 87 octane will do you just fine here with this Elantra. And then coming up top here, you get a gloss black shark fin antenna. You get a rear window defroster. Your third brake light is located up top here. Then you get a gloss black trim piece on your trunk. You get LED combination taillights back here. So the LED light bar is just like the daytime running light here, essentially at the back. But then your turn signals and everything else are the just standard lighting elements. And then you can see you get your Hyundai logo there, and then above your Hyundai logo you have your backup camera, and then below your Hyundai logo you got that little button right there. When you press on that button, that is going to pop open your trunk. And I was saying that for a sedan of this size, I think this trunk space is actually pretty respectable. You know, it's not the biggest trunk, obviously, but considering the size of this vehicle, it's a pretty decent size. Now, you can see this thing's got a ton of different accessories like the wheel locks, the first aid kit, so on and so forth, as well as this cargo tray. So I'll throw the price of all the different accessories that this vehicle's been optioned with on screen right now. But underneath all of this stuff in here, if you pull up, that is where you'll find your spare tire, your jack, your tow hook. So it is nice to see that this vehicle does come with a spare tire. I'm gonna try to get that back so I can flatten this stuff out and make it nice and pretty again. But yeah, that's kind of about it for what we got going on here in the trunk. I guess one thing I could point out is that if you pull on this and then you push that seat forward, anyways, basically the second row seats will fold flat, and then you get an additional like 3.5 feet of storage space, and you can do that on both sides. By the way, with the convenience package, you get that 60-40 split here for your rear seats, and then you also get a center fold down armrest. I'll show you that when we move into the interior. But finishing things off here at the rear end, you can see you get that silver Elantra badging. Coming down, you get that satin black rear valance, the 2 reflectors, and then you get this silver trim piece here on your rear valance. And then coming down a little bit more, you get a satin black rear diffuser. Try to pick that up on camera, and that kind of about does it for what we got going on here on the exterior of the Elantra SEL. Let me know your opinions in the comments down below, what you think of the Elantra. I guess one other thing I wanted to point out is that with the design language here at the rear, again, just like the front, it is very sharp. So it almost gives you the illusion that you have a nice little spoiler back here. And again, I think that just adds to the sporty design of the Elantra in general. Let me know your opinions in the comments down below. Do you like the sharp design? Do you not like the sharp design? Let me know your opinions down below. But with that stuff out of the way, let's move into performance. Popping open that hood reveals that 2-liter naturally aspirated 4-cylinder that makes 147 horsepower and 132 pound-feet of torque. It is mated to an intelligent variable transmission for a 0 to 60 time in 8.1 seconds. And if you were wondering about fuel economy, you can achieve 31 miles per gallon in the city, 40 miles per gallon on the highway for 34 miles per gallon combined with front wheel drive. I did want to mention that the Elantra only comes in front wheel drive, so if you're looking for a sedan with all wheel drive, the Elantra is not the one for you. But I think those fuel economy numbers are really, really good. And honestly, I filled this thing up with fuel before doing this review. I put about, I think, $12 in it, and I was surprised. It got me like, I think 150 miles of range or something. If I would have known that, I would have put like maybe $5 in it. But anyways, if you're enjoying the video so far today, please be sure to give this video a big thumbs up. Please hit that subscribe button. I'm on my journey to 100,000 subscribers, and I cannot reach my goal without your support. So if you're enjoying the video so far, if you've learned anything from this video, please just take a second, give the video a thumbs up, leave a comment in the comment section down below letting me know your opinions on the Elantra, as well as hit that subscribe button. The likes and comments in particular look very good for my channel in the YouTube algorithm, and that is what helps me grow. So I'd appreciate it if you do those 3 things. But with that stuff out of the way, let's move into the interior. Moving on into the interior, like I mentioned earlier in the video, you do get keyless access. So all you have to do is have your key fob in your pocket, walk up to the vehicle, press on this button right here, and the vehicle will unlock. You can press that very same button again, and the vehicle will lock right back up. 1 beep is locked, 2 beeps is unlocked. And now I want to walk you through the functions on the key fob. So obviously, you can see you have your lock function, your unlock function, and your panic function, but you also do get remote start. So all you have to do to remote start this vehicle is lock it, and then you press and hold on this button here, and she'll fire right up. But now let's see what the interior on the Elantra has to offer. So this is what the interior looks like. With the SEL, you do get that black cloth interior. There are a couple other interior color options you can choose from. This one has the black cloth, and you can only get cloth with the SEL. But now, taking a look at the door panel here for the driver, for 2024, they made some soft touch points on the door panel, whereas before there were not. So then you get some like textured, basically it's like vinyl-ish type of material. At the top of the door panel, you get some satin black plastic. Then you get a speaker with a fancy surround. You get a satin chrome door handle. Here are your mirror controls for the side view mirrors. Your unlock and your lock functions. The driver window is automatic up and down. None of the other windows are automatic up or down. Then this button is to restrict your passenger window privileges. You get a little bit of padding for your armrest, some miscellaneous storage space, and a spot you could set a water bottle, and then you get another speaker down here. You do get a manually adjustable driver's seat as well as a manually adjustable front passenger seat. I would have liked to see with the SEL convenience package a power driver seat, but you do not get one. So anyways, you also get a little pattern right here and some grays and some light grays. That is what that looks like. But stepping on into the interior, like I mentioned, this one's been optioned with the SEL convenience package, and with the SEL convenience package you do get heated front seats. Excuse me, I'm going to turn that system off right there, the HVAC system, and then I'm also going to turn the volume down so I don't get copyright strike. But coming down to here, if you pull up on this little lever, that is going to pop open your fuel door, and then if you pull up on this other lever right here, that is going to pop open your trunk. But coming up top here, this is to brighten and or dim your gauge cluster as well as your backlit buttons, and then this is to turn your traction control system on or off. If you flip that down, that gives you access into your manual tilting and telescoping steering wheel, so you can bring the steering wheel towards you, you can push the steering wheel away from you, bring it towards you, push it away from you, and you can move it up and down until you find your comfortable position. Once the comfortable position is found, you just lock it right back into position by putting it back up. But now, let's take a listen to our turn signal. That is what your turn signal sounds like. And not only is this your turn signal control stock and your high beam control stock, this is also your headlight control stock. So you may notice when I mess with the headlight controls, it's going to pop up over there. So basically all the way down is off. Coming up one to right here is automatic. One more time, that is parking lights on, and then all the way up top is headlights in the always on position. Personally for me, I like to leave them in the headlights automatic. I think the vehicle does a good job of turning the headlights on and off when need be. But zooming back out, this is what your steering wheel looks like. And again, this vehicle has been optioned with the $1,750 convenience package. And with that package, you get a leather wrapped steering wheel. So leather wrapped steering wheel. And just like any other vehicle, you have your horn at the center. So let's take a listen to it. That is what the horn sounds like on the Elantra. And then also coming over here with the SEL convenience package, you do get voice recognition. So that is what that button does right there. It's basically like speaking to the vehicle. And then this is your volume control knob. Obviously pushing up is to volume up, pushing down is to volume down. But if you push on the button itself, that is going to mute the audio system. And then one thing I find interesting about Hyundai and Kia products is that when you push up on that, that actually brings the track backwards. When you push down, it brings the track forward. So it's opposite of the way that at least I would think it would be. So that's just kind of interesting. And then when you have a phone connected, if you press on this phone button right here, it's going to pop up your phone screen here on the infotainment system. And then these two buttons are configurable. So if you click on that mode button, it's going to bring you into this screen. And basically, you can choose any and all of these functions if that's what you want the button to do. So basically, if you selected all of these, then it's going to bring you in between all of these. So start with Bluetooth audio, then move into phone protection, sounds of nature every time you click it, and it's going to bring you in between all of these things. And then once you hit Sirius XM, it's going to loop back again. Or you could select it just to be your Bluetooth audio. So every time you click that mode button, it's going to bring you into your Bluetooth audio stuff. Or you can have it be 2 or 3 things, if that makes sense. So basically, with the mode button, you can select any of these and all of them if you want that to be the mode button. But if you click on this star button right here, it brings you, it's basically like the same premise, but it brings you into a different menu of things to choose from. So you can end a call with that button. You could go into a voice memo with that button. That could be your home button. You can go into the map. You can cancel a route. Quiet mode. You can choose from any of these different things here, but you can only choose one of them with the star button. It's not like you can select all of them. Or you can just have that button be off, which is what it is, and that's how I'm going to leave it. But yeah, coming to this side of the steering wheel with the convenience package, you get smart cruise control with stop and go. So this, and this, all of these are for your smart cruise control system, as well as some driver assistance features. And then you see that page button and that OK button with the toggle. Those two controls are to control your 10.25-inch digital gauge cluster. So I guess with that in mind, let's navigate throughout the gauge cluster. So on the left-hand side of the gauge cluster, you have your speedometer. And on the right-hand side of the gauge cluster, you have your tachometer. And then right now, this is what the screen is displaying. You can see you have your fuel range. This is your instant fuel economy stuff, the ambient exterior temperature. This is the average fuel economy that we have right now. And then all the way down here is your odometer. Then you have your transmission status stuff. And then with the convenience package, you get the speed limit sign assist, which lets you know what the speed limit is beneath your transmission status stuff. Then you got your digital speedometer readout, and that's letting us know what lights are on at the moment. Now, to navigate throughout this screen, you have these toggles again. So if I click down one, it's going to bring me into my current trip information, or I can go with since refueling information, since reset information. But personally for me, this is the screen that I would leave it on. If you wanted to go into like a different screen, you'd click this button right here, and then it's going to bring you into your compass. Or you can go into this screen, which is going to show your tire pressure stuff, but basically you have to be driving in order for it to display the tire pressures. And if you click this, it's going to bring you into your driver assistance stuff. If you press and hold on this button, it's going to pop up your driver assistance stuff over here on the infotainment system. So you can go in between all of your different driver assistance features and stuff like that. Speaking of the driver assistance features, with the convenience package, you get the forward collision avoidance assist with pedestrian, cyclist, and junction turning detection. So, you know, it just makes the vehicle a little bit safer with that package. And then you have your windshield wiper control stock here. And then moving over to here, this is your 10.25-inch infotainment system with built-in navigation and wired Apple CarPlay and wired Android Auto connectivity. So you can see the date, you can see the time, you got your home button up top there, and then this right here is your home screen. It displays the date, the time, the music, and then like subtly over here you have your navigation stuff. If you swipe into this secondary screen here, you can pop up your navigation stuff if you wanted to. That's what the navigation stuff looks like. Or you can go into your navigation menu. Or phone projection, wired Apple CarPlay, wired Android Auto. It's not wireless, but anyways, this is what that screen looks like here. Swiping over to this next screen, this is the other screen. Now, let's say you wanted to go in between your different settings, but let's say you wanted to go into your driver assistant setting, but it was just dug throughout this menu, even though it's like right there. That's like, I was gonna use that as an example. But anyways, just very easy to use. So let's say, you know, your driver assistance wasn't right here and you had to dig through a menu and you didn't feel like spending the time. Basically, all you have to do is go into your setup, look for that icon right there that looks like a magnifying glass, and then you can type in your driver assistant stuff, and then it's going to pop up your driver assistant stuff. So it just makes it very easy, you know, to look for what you're looking for with this search bar here. It makes it very, very easy. Or you can go into like your media stuff. So you type in media, it's going to bring you into your media options. So it just makes things very, very easy, you know, settings wise and control wise with this screen. But anyways, I don't want to spend too much time on this screen because I feel it's very easy to use. It's very intuitive, so I don't feel the need to spend too much time on the screen. So coming down a little bit, you get 2 HVAC vents and you got your hazard button located at the center. I like how the hazard button actually flashes with the hazards. And then you got your push button, start button, and then all of these physical controls. This is your volume control knob right here. Now, obviously, when you click on map, it's going to bring up your map stuff. You click on the nav button, it's going to bring up your point of interest screen. Then you get your radio screen, it's going to pop your radio stuff. Then you get your media stuff, it's going to pop up your media stuff here on the screen. And then you have your volume control knob. This is to go backwards on a track. This is to go forwards on a track. And then this button right here is a configurable button. So you get 3 configurable buttons, but you can see this one's a star, but the star is not shaded in, whereas this star over here is shaded in. So it's basically the same premise as these 2 buttons, but you get a different list of what you can make this button be. So you can, again, only choose one of these things, and basically I would make it my home button personally, so every time that I clicked that button, it would bring me into my home screen. But yeah, you can either have it be Wi-Fi hotspot in any of these different controls here, but you can only choose it to be one of them. Personally, again, I would have that be my home button, and then this is going to bring up your settings menu, and that's about it for that. Coming down a little bit more, you can see you get the dual zone climate control. The dual zone climate control does come standard with this vehicle, and I'll show you what it looks like when it is on. That is what it looks like. Again, just very easy. And then you get your off button. Again, with the convenience package, you do get heated front seats with 3 levels of adjustability. That is what those look like. And then coming down just a little bit more, also with the convenience package, you do get a wireless charge pad. I know it's not going to pick up all that well on camera, but I have an iPhone 14 Pro Max, and we're going to see if it fits down in the charging pad. So just barely fits. I'm not sure if it's actually going to charge because the phone is so large. So let's see. Not 100% sure, but normally that would light up if it was charging, but I don't know if it is. It doesn't, no, it is not. So anyways, you get a little bit of storage space over there as well. And then this is your drive mode selector. So basically you can go in between your different drive modes. So if I click on that, you have 3 different drive modes. You have your normal mode, you have your sport mode, which lights everything up in red. You get a little bit of a carbon fiber background. And then all the way at the bottom, you have your smart mode. Now the wireless charging pad is working, and you can tell that it's working because that little light right there lit up. So it just takes a second to register. Then if you click on this, that is going to pop up your backup camera. If you click on that very same button again, it's going to disappear. And then with the convenience package, you also get this electronic parking brake. So I'm not sure how well that's going to pick up on camera, but yeah, the convenience package gives you that parking brake. If you wanted to disengage it, you'd have to push your foot down on the brake and push against that, and the parking brake will disengage. And then this right here is your auto hold function. So basically, if you're tired of holding your foot down on your brake in traffic, if you press that button right there, the vehicle will hold you in place by itself with its braking system. And then we go into drive and we flip this over. Basically, if I now push up, I can upshift. If I pull down, I can downshift, but you have to be in drive, flip this over to the left, and then you can control the transmission with this shifter here. Over here, you got 2 cup holders. The passenger gets an O-poop handle, or I guess the driver could also use that. Then you get a nicely padded armrest, and then opening up the armrest, you get a decent amount of storage space in here, but really not all that much storage space, and there is no connectivity down in that bin. Closing that back up, I'll show you. This is what the interior looks like. You do not get a lockable lower glove box, but you get a decent amount of storage space in that glove box. I'm gonna go into here. Let's see if we can't pop this up. You can pop up your ambient lights so we can see what color. You get a few different color options with the ambient lighting system, but you can see you get that ambient lighting strip that goes across. I know it's not picking up on camera, but anyways, you get 4 HVAC vents on the dash. You get a standard rear view mirror. You get 2 halogen lights up here for the driver and the passenger. And then with the convenience package, you get a power sunroof. And then here are your power sunroof controls. Obviously, you pull back, it's gonna slide. But if you wanted to tilt the sunroof, you'd push up on that right there, and then the sunroof will tilt. Close it back up, you just push forward. I'll show you on screen what it looks like open from the exterior's perspective. And then right here, if you flip that all the way to the left, that is instant dome lights on. It's gonna turn on all the interior dome lights. Now when it's flush like this, now when I open up the doors, the interior lights will turn on. But if I have this flipped all the way to the right, now when I open up the doors, the interior lights will not turn on. So that is what those functions do. And then you got your blue link stuff, lets you know if your passenger airbag is on or off, and then you have your roadside assistance stuff. Opening this up, you get a vanity mirror, but you also get a vanity light up top here that you have to turn on manually. One thing though, is that when you close this back up, it turns the light off. So don't worry about leaving the light on. And then you get a little clip right here. You can set money, registration, or any small paper product. And then these visors do slide forwards and backwards when the sun is in those awkward positions. So that is definitely nice to see. Then you may notice the driver does not get an O-poop handle, but the front passenger does get an O-poop handle. And one more thing I wanted to mention is that you get a little bit of storage space here on the passenger side that you could set a phone or something small like that. But really, that's kind of about it for what we got going on here in the front seats. So now, you know, I just wanted to throw everything that you get with the convenience package on screen. You could take a look, see if the package is for you or if you can skip it. Personally, for me, it is expensive, but it makes the vehicle just a little bit nicer, and it gives you everything that you want, but it leaves, you know, some of the other wants out, but it just makes the vehicle feel just a little bit more premium. So it was something that I personally would spring for, especially considering the price point of this vehicle. So now I'm gonna throw the entire window sticker on screen, and you can take a look at whatever you want to, but basically I'm just gonna highlight the MSRP. So the MSRP of the way that this particular 2024 Elantra SEL is spec'd is $26,800, and for the price point, that is why I think the convenience package is worth it, because it's at a low price point, so it's not going to break the bank. And you know, $1,750 is a lot of money, but I definitely think that that package is worth it. But I want to show you what we got going on here in the rear seats before moving in to the driving portion of the video. So let's see what the door panel back here looks like. I gotta unlock the vehicle. Now it is unlocked. And this is what the door panel looks like back here. You get some soft touch points and then some satin black plastic Some more satin black plastic. Let's see how far these rear windows go down. You can see they nearly go all the way down, but they don't quite go all the way down. Then you get a speaker and some miscellaneous storage space. And then this is what the seats look like here in the second row. With the convenience package, you do get the 60-40 split. And then you also do get the center fold down armrest. So let's step into these rear seats and see what we got going on. So you get this armrest here with the 2 cup holders with the convenience package, but I'm gonna close that door back up. And up top here, OPU panel, a spot you can set your dry cleaning. You get a dome light here for the rear passengers. And then on this side, you get an OPU panel, but you do not get a spot you can set your dry cleaning. And then by the way, you also do not get a seat back pocket behind the driver's seat. However, you do get a seat back pocket behind the passenger seat. Just keep in mind, the seat back pocket is mesh. So if you set some pens in there, the pens may fall out, but really this mesh is kind of small. So I don't foresee that happening. And then you get 2 USB-C ports back here as well. And then I am 5'9" and I am adjusted behind myself. I've actually got quite a bit of leg and knee room. Here's another view of my leg and knee room. And when it comes to headroom, being 5'9", I have about 1.5 inches of headroom. However, if I slouch down a little bit, you know, you can make up some headroom. But yeah, you know, we've talked about the exterior, we've talked about the performance, and now we've talked about what's going on here in the interior. So I want to see what this thing's like to drive, as I'm assuming you guys do as well. So I'll see you guys in the driver's seat. All right, now on to the driving portion of the video. Here's a nice little acceleration. Honestly, for having the power level that it has, it doesn't feel insanely slow. The only time that like vehicles with low horsepower and torque figures feel like really slow is when you floor them. Then you're like, oh, that makes sense. But when you're just giving them like, you know, average accelerations like you would normally give them, they don't feel terrible. And this doesn't feel terrible. Now here's another little acceleration. Boom, right at the speed limit. Now I'm gonna go back into the screen that I like, which is the digital speedometer readout at the center. I think that just makes things a little bit easier to deal with when you're driving around town without having to look at your speedometer over there. I know it's so difficult to look at a speedometer, but the digital speedometer readout just makes it so much easier than having to, you know, look over between the 20, the 40, the 60, you know what I mean? It just makes things very easy. Now, I think this is a great value for what you get. You know what I mean? It's a pretty good looking little sedan, you know what I mean? You get LED headlights, that's awesome. You get the LED running lights at the back, I think that's pretty awesome. Then it just has that really sharp design, which I think is really good, and I think it looks pretty sweet, all things considered. So one thing that I think is pretty cool is that you get that like aggressive looking rear end to where it kind of looks like you have a rear spoiler. I think that is pretty cool, and it kind of looks like, you know, just super sharp, you know what I'm saying, at the front and in the rear. So I'm curious to hear what your opinions are on the styling of this vehicle. If you're gonna like it, if you're not gonna like it. I think it might be a mixed bag of you know, what people think. But here's just a regular acceleration up to the speed limit. See, like, it's just, that was no effort really on the throttle. But let's say, you know, you're feeling it, right? You want to give it a little bit more gas. So basically what I would do, I would put it into sport mode. It's going to sharpen throttle response. It's not going to make it really faster. It's just going to give it the feel that it's a little bit faster with the sharpened throttle response. So what I'm going to do is give it a little bit of gas here. Okay, so initially I was like, okay, well, this is feeling kind of slow. But then once it got up to like, you know, 5,500 RPM, it really felt like almost like VTEC in a way. But let's test the handling here. Going around this turn. And again, you can control the transmission if you flip that over while you're in drive to the left. And that guy's hauling. Let's hit it. Decently quick acceleration, you know, nothing really to complain about, all things considered, you know what I mean? The horsepower and torque figures don't suggest it to be, you know, quick, but it didn't feel like insanely slow at the same time. We also might have been on a downhill, but here's a little uphill. Let's say you want to pass somebody to 70. that's when you're gonna feel like, okay, well, it's not the fastest thing in the world. But, you know, if you're not really in a rush to get to places all the time, I don't feel like you're gonna feel like this thing is insanely slow. Now, here, take a listen to what it sounds like cruising at about 70. So decently well insulated from the outside world. It's not like insanely loud, which is definitely a good thing, you know what I mean? Like sometimes on vehicles like this, cruising at this speed, it would normally be pretty loud, but all things considered, I think it is very well insulated from the outside world. It also cruises nicely as well. I'm gonna have to pull over here for a second because I forgot to put the dealer tag back on the trunk because I was doing some glamour shots. So I'm gonna do that here real quick. All right, we're good to go. I'm gonna have to pull out here. And yeah, I mean, like I was saying, this is actually a really nice vehicle for the money, you know what I mean? It's an affordable vehicle, which nowadays, you know, affordable vehicles are either nice or they're not, and this one is definitely on the nicer side of things. It's actually, like, I'm surprised at how well insulated it was, you know, from road noise and wind noise at about 70. I was expecting it to be a little bit louder because, you know, I've done some videos with some Subaru products, and Subaru, granted, has made big improvements with the road and the wind noise with the introduction of the 2024 Crosstrek / Impreza. They definitely are better than they were, because the 2023s and below, man, they were pretty loud on the highway. So I think car manufacturers are starting to make vehicles nicer for the money that they're asking, which is a good thing. But, you know, some vehicles, not this one, but like other vehicles, are just way too expensive. And it's nice to see them, manufacturers are still making affordable vehicles that are actually nice, and this is actually nice. So this is everything you need, you know what I mean? It's got everything that you need. It just doesn't have like the thrills of, you know, some other cars, you know, because of the price point. A little acceleration, normal acceleration. So you can see it's actually pretty quick. And one thing I wanted to say is that I was surprised at how far $12 of fuel would get me. So according to this, it was over 150 miles of range for $12. I mean, what? That is awesome. You know, in my daily driver, I think $12 of gas, what's that, like maybe 4 gallons, that would get me that would get me 80 miles, maybe. And that's like, that's actually being generous. I think it would get me probably like 70, realistically, 65, 70 miles in my car, whereas this is getting over 150 miles of range after I've floored it like 3 times and I've drove to the spot where I needed to film. So very, very good fuel economy. The seats are very comfortable. This has everything that you need, you know what I mean? The sound system's pretty decent for it being a standard sound system. Just don't expect the sound system to blow your socks off with how good it is, because, you know, this is a standard vehicle after all. But the sound system, all things considered, is pretty decent. Obviously, it doesn't have the bass, it doesn't have the clarity of some other sound systems like a Harman Kardon sound system. I just did a video with a Palisade Calligraphy Night, which had the Harman Kardon sound system. That sound system sounded great. So obviously, you know, it's going to take some adjustment if you're coming from a vehicle that has like a Harman Kardon sound system or something like that into this, where it's just a standard sound system. So it does sound good. Don't get me wrong, for a standard sound system, it sounds good, but comparing it to like the premium sound system, obviously it's not quite there. But other than that, it's comfortable. I think it is a great value for what you get. You get the digital speedometer readout, you get the digital gauge cluster, I mean, you get the infotainment screen. So I think it's a nice vehicle. All the touch points are great. You get the heated front seats with the convenience package. But that's it for today's video. If you guys did enjoy the video, please be sure to give this video a big thumbs up. Please hit that subscribe button. Like I said, I'm on my journey to 100,000 subscribers, and I cannot reach my goal without your support. So if you learned anything from this video, if you enjoyed this video in any sort of capacity, please just take a second to give it a thumbs up, leave a comment in the comment section down below, and hit that subscribe button. I would really, really appreciate it. But again, that is it for today's video. I will catch you all in the next one. Peace.